Welcome back, guys, to Let's Play Mother 1/Earthbound 0. I know in the beginning it said Earthbound 0, but if you actually get the Japanese version of this game, it will say Mother. So if anyone was ever confused about that, that is why. Anyways, last time we appeared in a strange land called Magicant. All we know is that there is a queen and there is a fountain. Before we go to the queen, let's go to the fountain, because I think one of them said that a man will appear if we cry. And I never found that out last time. And we get into an enemy in this area! Meet Watcher! Watcher is a pair of eyes. These are the main enemies of this area. They all belong to these eyeball things. For some weird reason, a lot of enemies in this area have eyeballs. It might be in your best interest to go ahead and grind and rack up some experience before you leave. Now, the reason I said back there not to go ahead and get any magical herbs is because if you check this, there was a red weed, and 10 got red weed. Now, you may not know what to do with this, but someone in town, and we get into a battle, with the magic snail. These guys have high defense. So probably the most, well, not the most threatening, but really threatening enemy of this area. You can compare it to the pseudo-zombie from the cemetery, whereas pseudo-zombie wasn't really the most threatening thing there, but it was still threatening enough to make a difference. So the snail, as you can see, it has high defense. You're either going to want to use a defense down PSI if you want to use the PSI, or we're going to have to use a PSI we don't have. Now actually, I never showed off the 4th D-slip, so I think it's about time we actually show it off. Now it uses a whole lot of PP. As you see, I went from 34 to 18 PP, but it is a 100% accurate runaway. So, if you're just walking around, you know, not really high leveled, and you run into the most threatening enemy of the entire area, you can use a 4th D-slip. Only problem is that you have to go and use your move beforehand. So if the monster uses his move before you do, you will get hurt, pretty much. Hey, guys, before we continue, a while back, I said that I had a toothache. I wasn't completely honest. I think it's time you guys know exactly what I have. I have the beginning stages of gingivitis, which is a gum disease. It's not fun. Don't worry, I'm gonna be fine, but I'm kind of worried about my future, considering I think it's gum disease that is related to heart attack, and my family in particular has a history of that. But, not to be morbid, the toothache I was talking about has actually been a small little bit of gingivitis. It's really my fault. You don't need to worry about it. And I'll be taking care of it. It's nothing you need to be worrying about. I just been thinking I should have told you guys instead of, you know, telling you guys, hey, it's just a toothache, no worries, when really it's probably my most severe illness I've had for recording. Now there was an NPC, I don't know if we ran into last time, but she says something about taking the red weed to a fountain. And if not, there's an NPC somewhere later on that's going to tell us this. But I'm going to tell you this now. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a bunch of red weeds, and you're going to want to take them over here to this enemy that we ran into. And it's the same thing as last time, so see you in a sec. You're going to want to come over here, and you want to go up here. Let's talk to these guys. I regained my strength at Queen Mary's fountain. There are a great many holes east of town. The sound of another world can be heard from one. So, our ticket out of here actually lies east of town. Anyways, go up here, no problem. Talk. Telepathy? Did you call me up? Yes. You need money, don't you? Yes. Well, your balance is... Oh, this is the ATM! Oh, I never found this guy! Okay, so that is where you can get your ATM. You just use telepathy, and there you go. Now, that's not what you're really going to want to do. What you're really going to want to do is use a red weed. When placed in the fountain, red weed became a magic herb. Yes, you can get magic herbs free in this area. Magic herbs will regain your HP. So, if you have enough bag room, it might be a good idea to get it. I don't particularly think it's a good idea because this big bag is actually full with a random number of them. So, I just got one just to use and show off. Now this area right over here that I got interrupted again, whatever that is. This thing, if it is in the middle, do not worry too much, I don't think. But if it's off to the side, you might want to worry because this thing can actually call in friends. I actually coughed on something there. I'm sorry if you heard that. This thing, when it calls its friend is really, really dangerous. So you might want to kill it fast. Other than that, these things don't really do that much damage. Then again, I'm wearing armor. Groucho! Groucho actually gives off quite a bit of experience, if I am correct. It might be in your best interest to fight some of these guys. I will say this, grinding up, talking to that old man, and then getting one of the pendants is a fantastic idea. Did he just give me 3 XP? I don't know. Dad's Eyes. These things can raise their offense, I believe, and they're much more powerful than Watchers. And it's dead. I think that's what it does. I know it can raise its offense. Anyways. Oh, Big Widow. This thing, you do not want to kill. It gives off quite a bit of experience from what I've heard, but you do not want to kill this thing. When you kill this thing, it's going to explode and deal huge amounts of damage. So, surprise, surprise, I'm actually going to use a 4D slip to get out of here. This thing in particular is your nightmare in this area. It is the most threatening enemy in this area, and this area is useless over here. There's nothing over here. Groucho said hello and then just walked away? You don't know why, but Nintendo's EXP increased. Holy crap! I think it gave me 100 EXP from doing nothing! Okay, I never knew that! So, oh, Four Eyes. So Grouchos, don't exactly kill them, they can just give you 100 EXP! Just guard! Anyways, Four Eyes. I believe they do more damage than Watchers. And again, I'm wearing a lot of armor, so we can't really tell all that much. They can approach slowly, which is something I don't believe Watchers can do, which, as you know, that basically means that they'll do a lot more damage. And we advance to the next level. Surprise, surprise, there are like 2 or so enemies we haven't seen that we can find on a regular basis. Yeah, this area has... No, actually 3. This area has a huge number of enemies in it. Anyways, no, it's not that area. Before we go on to Queen Mary's Castle, which is actually just north of town... Hi, how you doing? As I was saying, before we go to Queen Mary's Castle, which is right actually in there, you can somewhat see it right there, I want to show something off up here. This house. Go inside, there are these guys. Talk to one of them. I'm the Flying Man, my destiny is to help you. And he will actually follow you around. Now, what's weird is... You know what? I'm not going to say because it's actually a spoiler for later on. Actually, not really, because we named our characters in the beginning. Um, you, you can have up to 3 characters at a time, which is weird because if you actually come here and talk to a flying man, you can have 4 characters running around. If you want to relate it to the sequel, even though I haven't played the sequel yet, well, I actually have, but I haven't played through it, you can compare him to the teddy bear, only he attacks. I don't believe he does that much damage, really, but it might be in your best interest to pick him up. He does have a limit, though, and as you saw, there were a limited number of them in that area. So it might be in your best interest to not go ahead and kill all of them. Yes, I did say kill. In this game, if the flying birdmen are beaten, they will die. When you go back there, there's a gravestone there for each and every one you kill. Yes, very morbid. But I believe that is all I want to show off, except for a couple of things. So why don't we say we fight this dad's eye real quick. And the flying man does a damage of 33. Why don't we go ahead and go to Queen Mary's castle. There are a couple of things that I'm going to show after Queen Mary's castle, but for now, let's just go on anyways. Suspicious man, I'll let you pass if you solve this riddle. It doesn't actually say the riddle, so you're supposed to use telepathy. That's right, the answer is 2 alligators. Although I haven't come up with the riddle yet. And that is how you get through that. And we arrive in Queen Mary's castle. Now because I have a small inventory, I'm actually going to go ahead and use a magic herb real quick. Oh, that was a waste. This area is somewhat big. You can find some treasure in these rooms. There is one that I do want to pick up, and I'll show it off when I get there. That's where you're supposed to go right there, but if you go in here, there are 3 rooms, there are 3 treasures here. I believe most of them contain magical herbs. There are some unique items, and I'm going to want to pick those up later, but for now, just know you can come back to this area. You can get pretty good items. I'm not going to flash them up on screen because I have to edit that majorly. The main thing you want to get in here is in this box. There was a boomerang. Now, there are other things in those boxes, but once you choose a box, they all open. And there's even some boxes that are empty, which really suck. But if you get the boomerang, it's actually much more powerful. So that's something you're going to want to go ahead and do. Now we can sell our bat once we get to a shop. As for the other things in these areas, I don't really want to go ahead and get them quite yet. You can find stuff like bread, magical herbs, and I believe even some unique items. But for now, let's just go ahead and talk to the Queen. Welcome, Nintendo. Here in Magicant, everyone is your friend. You can have as much as you like of whatever you want. What? You want to listen to my song? Sorry, I don't know why, but I can't sing. I beg you to learn the melody. It's only 8 notes long. When you learn them all, return and sing for me. If only I could hear that song. So yes, this is why we are gathering the 8 melodies. We have already gotten 3 of them. We need just 5 more, really. Sorry, I thought I had 4. No, I thought there were 7. But yes, Queen Mary is the reason why you are getting the 8 melodies. See you later. Once you get all of the melodies, you are to return here and sing the song to her. Actually, didn't take any damage, so why am I going back in here? I'm gonna go ahead and sell my Actually, can I even sell my thing? No, I can't. I'm gonna have to go to a regular store outside of here. But, let's go ahead and get into a battle. No, I didn't mean to. Ooh! Alright, let's see if it works. I swear to gosh, Flying Man. Flying Man! That is one way you can get screwed. If you want to use the Groucho thing and get a lot of experience, you're gonna have to not have Flying Man because he will screw you up. But it's an amazing technique. You can get a lot of experience from it, and I highly recommend it. Now, what I was trying to do was actually get into another battle. You know what? What I was really trying to do, I'm going to go ahead and rack up enough points to get that pendant, and then I'll meet you where I actually want to go. So see you in a sec. I'm so close to 2013. Hey everybody, welcome back. I went ahead and got the fire pendant. I believe it reflects certain types of PK, like it reduces damage, and I felt that there were more times that I was getting screwed over by a fire move. You'll know what I mean later in the game, but later in the game, at least for the next two areas after this, there's going to be a lot of instances where you can get screwed over by fire, and I think that's what the fire pendant does. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to actually look it up, but I believe that's what it is. Anyways, we were told that east of the town there are holes, and from one of them it sounds like, oh, we got a new enemy, Wooda. Wooda will not explode, even though the big Wooda does. And they can actually call in friends. Now, we were told that over here there are holes. I said we were told over here there are holes, and one of these holes has the sound of another world in it. Could it be Toemon? It's in here. Now, the path that you're going to need to take, if you want to go the other way, I think there might be treasure, but to continue on, you need to go right, left. No, wait, I screwed up. Right, left, left, right, and get into a battle. Alright, it's right, left, left, right. So I went right, left, left, and now I need to go right. Ooh! Hey, we can just guard until he gives us like 100 EXP. See, that's what I recommend doing. Not getting a Flying Man and just guarding. Even though it might take a bit, I do recommend doing this because he'll give crap experience otherwise, and he gives like 100 experience right if he does the other thing. So, yeah. Hello? And then just went away. Let's look at my EXP. Yes, it's like 100 or something, or 50 or something. Now this area! This is our first instance of a somewhat dungeon. In this area I'm going to show right now. As you can see, this area isn't really that big. It really is linear. However, let me show you the Japanese version. Yeah, okay. Now you can kind of thank the localization team. Also, there's something in this area that is really jerkish. But other than that, let's go on. And yes, I did just plaster that over the screen. Anyways, in here, there was a magic herb. Now in one of these, there's a sword. We cannot equip the sword, we cannot get the sword yet, and we meet the family of Watchers. And we get into a new enemy, Mom's Eyes! Most threatening of all of them, weirdly enough. Mom's Eyes will do continuous attacks on you. It is... Actually, it might be in my best interest just to run away. See, continuous attack. If you don't have any of the defense things up, then that can be really a challenge for you. Also, I think I learned a PSI move. I'm not sure. PSI Shield Alpha! Yes! PSI Shield Alpha is just like Defense Up Alpha, only it is a PSI Shield, meaning if you are fighting something that uses PSI, such as a Starman, like Starman Jr., that can actually reduce the damage. I should mention, if you kill all of the Watchers in that family, you'll get 100 experience. Man, between the... And I advanced. If I can move more than one step, between the Grouchos and the families of eyes, I'm like gaining so much experience. I think I'm actually over-leveled because of it. This place, by the way, if you haven't guessed, this is where you want to grind. Anyways, let's continue on. Let's check. The PSI Stone, that's really good. You want that. What can I drop? I'm gonna drop the flea bag. I never eat it. Don't be silly, you can't do that. Yeah, talk to the president. If you use a flea bag, depending on the enemy, it will do really, really good wonders. If you use it on a robot enemy or a machine, it's going to do absolutely nothing. If you use it on like a human, it's going to do somewhat damage. But if you use it on something like a dog or a furry animal like a wolf, it's going to drive them nuts. So that's what the flea bag is. The PSI Stone will actually give you back some of your PSI. Now there's a dragon over here. Let's check the dragon. Dragon sleeps. 10 psychic powers are short of waking the dragon. Now, this dragon isn't important until later, but I'm going to say it right now because there's one NPC that tells us what this dragon does. And it is a very, very obscure NPC. So, I'm just going to say it right now. This dragon, it holds a melody. You can only fight it when you're level 25. I recommend going through the story and waiting to fight this dragon until way later, because this guy is not a pushover. So, not to spoil it, but because the NPC that tells us this is like in an obscure area, I'm just going to tell you right there that that guy holds a melody for you. Hey, another Groucho. And we learned a new PSI power. Now, before I continue on... Oh, this is something that's annoying in this game. If you play for too long, this is your dad. Now, son, it's not my business, but why not rest? Yes, your dad will actually make sure that you can rest. If you put rest, I don't know if he'll save or not. I see. I know the Earth faces a crisis. Good luck. Now, let's check the PSI I got. I have... Quick Up! Quick Up will increase my speed. That's pretty good. Now, we're going to get into an item that you really, really want to get. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Get back some of my PK. And I'm also going to use the magical herb. The PSI Stone lasts for a while, so it's a good idea to always have one of those. Now I'm going to mention this item that's inside this thing right in front of me, right in front of that. You want to get it. Unfortunately, you have to fight a boss. The fish! This guy's not a pushover. I'd actually recommend getting the armors before you do this. If not, you want to put up defense alpha. In fact, I'm going to do that either ways. I do not know if it uses PK. I think it might. So just because I'm not sure. Oh, wait, no, it does continuous attacks. Should I use a PSI shield? I feel like I don't need to do that. I'm going to use a defense down alpha just to show it off. Vision decrease has decreased by 35. This thing will decrease enemy defense. This fish is very tough without any of your armor that you got. Trust me, I didn't know about the armor the first time coming through here. Or wait, no, I didn't know about getting I didn't know about the old man ATM thing. So I got pretty screwed. This fish is annoying. Just gonna throw that out there. But it is worth it for the item that you get underneath this. And with that, the fish is dead. This is our our second instance of a boss. This is the boss of this is the semi-boss of this area if you don't count the dragon. This is the boss of this area if you want to get this thing. What is it? It's an onyx hook. Very useful item. I will get into that later in the game, but for now, you're going to want to continue on. You guys better thank me for cutting out all these battles. Anyways, in that present down there, there is a sword. You do not want to pick that up just yet. If you do, you're going to want to put it in storage. But if you don't want to waste the inventory, or if you don't have the inventory, don't worry about it. You will be able to come back later. There's a reason why you'll be able to come back later, and I'll get into that when I talk about the onyx hook. Why are those two linked? Well, we'll find out later. Anyways, you're going to want to come up here and get into another battle. And after that battle, you're going to want to come to this guy. Now, thank the localization team. This guy, after you talk to him a bunch of times, there will be a conversation tree. In the Japanese version, that's conversation tree. If you screwed up on that conversation tree, you go back to the beginning of Magicant. In this version, all you do is he just stops talking to you and you have to talk to him again. It's really annoying. This guy's depressing. Why do you insist on talking to me? Are you a forgotten man too? Yes, don't give me that garbage, just leave me alone. If I would have said that in the Japanese version, I would have went right back to Magicant. It sucks. But you do have to start the whole thing over again, though. Which really sucks sometimes. That's right, right? Go ahead, ignore me like everyone else. Yes, that's right, thank you. And he leaves. And with that, we are done with Magicant. And we are also done. Whoa. We are also done with the with this video. So, thank you guys for watching. That was a long video. I'm sorry. Well, actually, it was long for me, but for you guys, maybe not. When I cut everything and its mother out. Everything and its mother. Oh. With that, I'm gonna leave you guys. So until then, see you next time.